Hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. Hope everybody's doing good. Hey, there it is. Okay, I was wondering if it was going to capture right off the bat, but yeah, we're going to take a look at my new toy that I spent too much money on, the Steam Deck. Because I had a lot of people asking me about it, about, how it works, how the interface is, what's compatible, that sort of thing. Um, I'm no expert on this thing. I'm still learning. But I really like it, and I figured I'd show it off a little bit. Hey, Snoodle, and Truth, and I think someone else is here too. But yeah, welcome everybody in. I hope you guys are having a great night. Um, yeah, so this is the Steam Deck, and this is the interface that you're gonna see. So right now, I am actually capturing this from. I'm not using like an HDMI connector or anything. What I'm doing is I'm actually using the Steam Link app to connect to the Steam Deck, and it just natively supports that. You can just set it up right in here. Oh God, what is this behind my? Oh, close this. There we go. You can set it up in here in somewhere settings. Don't remember where it is exactly. I actually forgot. Where is it? But this is what you got for like settings and stuff. It's pretty extensive. Oh, remote play. Yeah, you just set it up here. Um, Same as you would with any other Steam Link type of stuff. Uh, but yeah, we'll get out of there. Um, but yeah, so that's how I'm capturing it. I could also hook this up. I do have a little. It doesn't come with any sort of dock or cables or anything like that. Hey, Spectral, how you doing? Um, it doesn't come with any sort of yeah, any sort of like dock or cables or anything like that. But I did buy a little USB-C. Oh, okay, so let's talk about the hardware first of all. That's the one thing I'm not really showing on this stream, because I didn't want to set up a webcam or anything like that. You guys can find pictures online of the Steam Deck if you want. But for those who haven't seen it, um, can I can show you the like. Can I not? Oh, here's what I'll do. I'm gonna fire up a game and just kind of show you. I want to show you just the layout of the Steam Deck and talk about it for a second. So, anyways, this is what it's basically laid out like. If you haven't seen it yet, some of you might not have been aware of it. We're gonna hear. Oh, here, let me actually. Hopefully, I want to get into a game that's quiet. I don't want a bunch of background noise. Okay, that's fine for now. But anyways, you basically have your standard layout. You got D-pad. Oh God, that's loud. Okay, right. Rogue Legacy is very loud. I'm just gonna turn the audio off for a second. Okay. Actually, we'll keep it low so we can just have some background music. Uh, but yeah, it's laid out like your standard, like Xbox or PlayStation type controller. Two analog sticks, D-pad, start and select buttons, four face buttons. There is two trackpads on this thing. On the front there, that's what those squares are. The trackpads can be clicked in, I believe, four directions, maybe eight. I'm not actually sure if they have eight directional. Uh, and they're also, trackpads, so they control mouse input, which we'll see in a bit. Hey, Daroka, how you doing? And good. I'm glad you're doing well, Spectral. I'm doing good as well. Let me change a chat setting here real quick because I didn't realize how annoying that was going to be. Okay, I changed something in my chat settings and I don't like it, so I just changed it back. But yeah, that's the layout of the Steam Deck, and this is just in a game showing you some of how you can customize it and stuff. But it has analog triggers on the left and right, and then of course left and right bumpers as well. It also has four triggers on the back of the Steam Deck, about where your index or ring fingers sit. If you're depending on if you hold the controller with your well, not index, sorry, your middle finger or your ring finger, depending on if you use your middle finger to rest on the triggers, or if you're like me and switch your index finger between those two controls, between the bumpers and the triggers. I know everybody's different, so. But yeah, that back area on the lower portion of the deck has the L4, L5, R4, and R5 buttons, so that you got even more inputs to play with there, however you like, and you could bind those pretty much however you want. Of course, like I said too, you have the track pads. The analog sticks are fully clickable as well. Lots of inputs to be had. On the top of the Steam Deck, you have two volume buttons and a power button, and a USB-C port for power, as well as for connecting it to docks and things like that. And then on the other thing on the top is just a 3.5 millimeter audio jack. So yeah, doing pretty shitty. Well, that sucks, Staroka. Hopefully your night starts to get better. I'm doing good. Just talking about the Steam Deck and getting a chance to kind of showcase it here. I'm very excited about this thing. Also on the front, I didn't talk about the two buttons below the trackpads. The one on the left is your Steam button, which brings up the Steam menu that we're currently in, where you can manage, your current game, your control schemes. You can get back to your library. You can actually launch more than one thing from your library if you want. This is very handy if you, for example, want to have non-Steam games such as Discord, a browser, that sort of thing, Telegram, whatever. That's sort of, it's useful to be able to run more than one game at a time. It's a PC, it's not a game console, so these apps will run in the background, and you'll still get like notifications for like Discord and stuff. You can still talk to people on Discord. I could be if I was on Discord, I could fire up Discord on here and stream my screen just like you would on a PC. It's pretty great. So, uh, yeah. So you can do all that. You got the store and all that, just your usual stuff. The other button on the right gives you kind of a quick access to some performance information, as well as notifications, friends, um, yeah, just some quick settings like brightness, audio. Let's see, yeah, your rumble settings, airplane mode, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, all that's in here. Uh, the performance overlay level is kind of neat. You can adjust this and actually show more information about how well your current game is running. So, like, right now you have it on 1, which I think just shows FPS. But if you turn it up to 4, and we go back to the game, you can see a lot more details about the current performance. So if you're one of those people who really like performance numbers and, seeing what your computer's doing, you got that here for the Steam Deck, which is pretty cool. So yeah, that's available to you. And honestly, I kind of want something like this in Steam now. Like, I want this just built. Maybe you can do it on Steam on Windows, but I've just never paid attention to it. How much is a Steam Deck? This model's like I got the biggest model, which I'll talk about the differences in a second here. They're not that different they're basically storage space differences. I got this for I think it was about 700. Might have been less than that. I can't remember exactly. It was about 700, and that's the biggest model. They start at. I actually forgot what they start at. Let me look. $399 is the base model, so not too bad. It's about what you pay for a console. So the base model is $399. Comes with a carrying case and 64 gigabytes of onboard space. I think the base model is a tough sell unless you are going to be upgrading that space easily, and I don't. And like 64 gigabytes not a lot, so it's there, but I think it really starts at the 256 gigabyte model, which is $529. That's my personal opinion, but there is the smaller one too. I got the 512 gigabyte model, and it was $650. Sorry, not 700. It was 700 with tax, but the base price is $650. $649 exactly, but. The performance overlay is Mango HUD. It's Linux exclusive. Yeah, I figured. It's cool though. I'm sure you could. I'm sure there's things like it for Windows that I could install on my Windows PC. It just would be cool to see it integrated into Steam directly. Um, let's see. The NVMe drive is replaceable. I have the 391 and one pre-ordered. Yeah, exactly. So if you have like other hardware for whatever reason that you could put in it, there's nothing. It's the same. The same hardware is in this thing as far as performance-wise goes. The only difference is the drive. Um, the only other thing the 512 model has that the other models don't have is you have uh, etched glass screen, which I couldn't tell you what the difference is because I just have this one and I haven't seen another one in person. So I don't. I guess it's less glare maybe, but that's the difference between the models. Let me go back to the. Let me just go back to the Steam menu real quick, and we'll talk some more about. Oh yeah, this is cool too. If you opt into it, it'll ask you like after you play some games, it'll say, hey, does this work? Does this not work? Because they're kind of collecting data from everybody to determine what's compatible and what's not. So let's actually talk about compatibility a little bit. Um, let's talk about compatibility a little bit. Let's go to the library. So, uh, this is just I'm not going to worry too much about. I'll just go kind of scum through my Steam library here. This is the stuff that's listed as great on the deck. This is not my entire library. My entire library is here, and so there's some stuff that's interesting to talk about though, because like, for example, Axiom Verge is listed as with the green check mark there. It's listed as compatible. And it probably is. I haven't installed it, but other games you'll see have like a question mark or a yellow exclamation point, or even possibly see if we can find one. Arma, yeah, that one has a little white cross, crossed out sign. So games with that are generally not compatible because of anti-cheat. There's a few. So if you play a lot of competitive like shooter or multiplayer games that use easy anti-cheat or other things like that, um, you may that some of those are not going to work very well on the Steam Deck. That being said, Easy Anti-Cheat can be made compatible with the Steam Deck. It's just on the developers to do so. Because one thing I have been playing on this, oops, one thing I have been playing on this is Elden Ring, which works flawlessly. So let's go into Elden Ring a little bit while I talk about some of the other stuff because I want to show you guys how well Elden Ring performs. Um, and yeah, so there's some games like this that use Easy Anti-Cheat that actually run just fine on the Switch because the developers actually put effort into making it compatible. Other games with Easy Anti-Cheat that might work too are ones that you can play in single player or launch without the anti-cheat enabled. For example, the Halo Master Chief Collection I have installed on here and works fine as long as I'm not logging it into the online multiplayer. Elden Ring should be it's like not capturing. That's weird. What is going on here? Something weird happened. Let me... There we go. It changed the title of the window for some reason. Now it's not... There we go. Okay. So here we go. Elden Ring. This is running natively on the Steam Deck. And I am currently playing it with the Steam Deck controls. I'm holding mine in my hands here. And... yeah, we're not going to play it on the Steam Deck today, by the way, but I'm just showing that I can. Yeah, you'll get much better fidelity, playing it on my desktop because the screen on this one is only like 720 by 800, but it probably doesn't even look that different for you guys, like because of the screen resolution and stuff differences on the stream. It probably doesn't look too terrible, and honestly, it looks great for me. Like it looks fine. It's just a lower resolution. And performance-wise, as you can see, I'm getting a pretty steady 35 to 40, depending on where I'm looking. So, you're not getting your 60 FPS in Elden Ring, but also, like, the settings it defaulted to, I changed a couple things. I turned motion blur off and depth of field down a little bit. But otherwise, it defaults to high. I could probably get more performance out of this if I turned these down. I just haven't chosen to. So, yeah. Elden Ring runs fine. The stuttering you're seeing there, by the way, is not stuttering on the Switch, or excuse me, on the Steam Deck. That is stuttering from my network capturing this over Steam Link. Because keep in mind, this is also going over the network and onto my desktop PC where I'm streaming it to you guys. So yeah, there may be the occasional stutter, and those are not actually the Steam Deck stuttering. Who died here? Oh no, Roshi. Yep. All right. So yeah, but as you can, yeah, you can see that Elden Ring runs just fine, and that's honestly pretty great. Portable Elden Ring, you can't really argue with that. I'm gonna go somewhere and just fight a couple things just to kind of show it off. But did I say Switch, Taroka? Oh my God, I'm gonna do that because my brain is like, this is the Switch, but it's not. Uh, but yeah, on the deck is what I mean, obviously. Okay. Trying to get locked on there, and I was hitting the wrong buttons. Watch me die here because I'm not really paying attention. Oh my God. I have a button. Yeah, there we go. So I actually bound one of my back buttons to the shortcut I have for the health things. So I can just press a button and heal, which is pretty cool. But yeah, like, you know, I mean, as far as you know, this was running on my PC, just with maybe not the greatest performance, but it runs. It's perfectly playable and looks great. You know, like looking down at this on this, it looks even better in my opinion on the Steam Deck itself, looking down at it than it does on the monitor. Um, Probably just because I'm viewing it at the resolution it's intended to be displayed at. But yeah, still pretty impressive. It's able to function, send itself over the network to your PC, and be streamable, right? Yeah, and that's the other cool thing too. So like I said, I'm streaming this from OBS on my PC, capturing the display via Steam Link. However, you could install OBS on the Steam Deck. There's nothing stopping you. I have not tried this yet, and I don't know if it would run super well, but I want to try it at some point. Yeah, you totally could just install OBS on here. You had told me a mobile device would be able to do that a few years ago. I would have laughed. Exactly, yeah. I mean, it's crazy. The ability to put this much PC gaming power into such a little device. So, anyways, that's I'm just gonna quit out of Elden Ring now since we're not playing it just yet. But I just wanted to show off that something like Elden Ring does absolutely work, and it works pretty good. Um, and it uses easy anti-cheat. So despite that, if the developers put the effort in, it can still work. So yeah, I talked a little bit about Halo the Master Chief Collection. You see how it has the cross symbol. Uh, that's because it has easy anti-cheat, but you can launch this without it enabled to play like single player, and I think you can even play custom lobbies. I don't think I'm not sure about that. I think you can play custom lobbies and like co-op with easy anti-cheat off, and it won't care. You just can't do matchmaking. I think maybe I'm not 100% sure about that. I haven't tried it, but yeah. But yeah, Rogue Legacy is another one I got on here. Oh, let's talk about one of the main reasons I got a Steam Deck is as an emulation box. So this is a little app called EmuDeck that you can just. It took a little bit of setup to get done, but once I transferred over my ROM collection and stuff, again, it doesn't come with ROMs, but you transfer over what you want, and it'll set this up for you. And it's a very Switch-like interface, and it installs all the emulators and stuff for you automatically. There was a few things I had to do some customization on to get set up the way I liked, but it runs pretty well. Let me just catch up on chat here. Elden Ring is an interesting one on the deck. I know it actually has less stutters than on high-end hardware because Proton on the deck has a custom precompiled shader cache, so it avoids shader compiling on the fly. Yes, that is true. It still stutters a little bit, but the stutters you're getting on the deck are more to do with like genuine like frame drops from performance dropping below 30 FPS than like the loading stutters that you get on a PC. Um, there are ways to avoid it on PC though too, to keep your shader cache precompiled, but it doesn't always work. But I've done some tricks on my PC that help with it. Uh, would be interesting to see how good a Switch could handle Steam Link streaming of more intensive games. The Switch modded could probably yes, this is Pep Secret ROM collection. Like, these are all legally obtained. Um, but yeah. Uh, the cool thing though is the thing that excites me is that I can do like my randomizers and stuff on here. Um, let me catch up more in chat. It handles it just fine with Moonlight and video streaming thing. That's what I figured because the Switch doesn't like it has a perfectly functional Wi-Fi radio in it, so that's really all you really need and a display. So it's got a fast enough processor to do that. I'm pretty sure the Switch, as much as we should like to shit on the Switch, for being kind of crap, we got to remember that the Switch came out in 2017. It's still pretty good. It just is aging hardware. When we try to throw modern stuff at it, it all could it be better? Yes, but the Switch isn't a bad piece of hardware. It's pretty solid. This thing blows it out of the water, but you know, but yeah. I'm just gonna show I'll show you how some of this stuff plays on here. So this is just the Castlevania 2 randomizer, just a random seed I had on here. Why 17? Why you make me feel old, right? I know. It feels like the Switch just came out yesterday, but it's been 5, 6 years, something like that. Um, I'm looking for the right. Oh, so there's a cool this is with the emulator package I have has the cool hotkey where if I press start and select, it brings you back to your to the menu. That might be problematic, I suppose. I think there's some rare games that you actually use start and select together as a combo, but you can disable it. Um, and anyways, so if you press this to get, it's just Retroarch. Like this is just Retroarch, as you can see. So I can do all the cool stuff you can do with Retroarch. You can customize your controls. You can set up overlays. You can change things about the video layout. It's Retroarch. I mean, it is what it is. One of my favorite things is that the emulation package I got does come with a shader collection. So I could pop on a nice CRT shader here if I can find them. There we go. CRT Royale is always a good one. There we go. And once it applies, it takes a second. We'll just close back out. Now we got a nice CRT shader, which probably doesn't look as good on the stream, but there it is. And it automatically set up all the bindings for this and stuff too. So oh, I might be getting duplicate audio here. Hold on, let me turn it down. There we go. The volume on the switch or on switch. I keep saying switch on the deck. The volume on the deck was turned up, and I didn't want it coming through the mic. But yeah, runs fine. Perfectly viable solution for emulation if that's your thing. Yeah, that's not really all there is to say about that. Like, it runs perfectly, and it's really easy to set up. Google EmuDeck if you get one. That's all I got to say on that. So let's go back. Let's close that. And, let's see, what else can we talk about? So I got a few other games on here. I'll just kind of talk about some of the games I put on here and I've tested. Tetris Effect Connected works flawlessly, no issues. I've had some issues with No Man's Sky, weirdly enough. It actually crashed my entire Steam Deck the first time I tried it, so I haven't tried it again since then. Maybe I'll try it here in a second and see what we get. Deep Rock works perfectly. The interface is a little small on the deck. That's what the yellow exclamation mark is about. Oh, that's something else I can show. So if you see a game with like one of these warnings and you're not sure what it means, if you come in here and go to game info, it'll say playable, but with details, and it just says here some in-game text is small and might be difficult to read. So it'll tell you what the reported issues are. But there aren't many, like, most games don't have any issues. Um, and actually, a good one to talk about, too, is, like, here, Ori and the Will-O-Wisp. It's actually listed as not compatible. Well, let's find out, shall we? Looks compatible to me. um, yeah. I don't know why it's listed as not compatible. It works perfectly. Like, I didn't do anything. It just runs. At least they're transparent if there's any oddities with the games instead of outright saying, well, exactly, but Charity, that's exactly the thing that's brilliant about it is Valve wants to be transparent with it because it puts the onus on the developers to make their game compatible. Because Valve can just be like, hey, this game doesn't work. You should bug the devs to make it work, you know? One thing I wish they would do, though, is provide a link to the ProtonDB page because a lot of games that are incompatible may have tricks to make them work. You know, tricks or features uh, to make them compatible. But and then this one, I don't know why this isn't listed as compatible because I mean, it's flawless. It's a little quiet because I think it's just turned down in the. Why is it so quiet? Huh. Man, I don't know. It's a little quiet, but that's the only real issue. I even started a game on here just to test it. I'll just show you, like, it runs perfect. One thing that doesn't work on here yet is the Ori and the Will-O-Wisp randomizer. I am pestering the devs about it, though. I'm hoping they'll make it compatible. Um, but yeah, 60 FPS, perfectly fine. I can spam Wolf. Yeah, I've been bugging Wolf on the Discord. Um, But the good news is the base game runs perfectly fine. So you know the thing is with anything like this, if the base game runs, then it's not like the randomizer like that's the first step. If it didn't run, then they're not gonna make it compatible, and especially if it like it runs flawlessly without you having to really do anything. I might like adjust if I played this game on here more. I would probably this doesn't help. I'm running at 140% resolution scale. Maybe we'll turn that down a little bit, huh? There. Much smoother. I don't know why I was running at that. Zri is a Linux fanboy anyways. Yeah, it's absolutely going to happen. Like, I'm not remotely concerned about it, like, not happening. I'm excited to be able to test it for them when they have a build ready for me to test. And it looks so good on this screen, too. I'm just looking down at it, and this game just looks amazing on this screen. It's not an OLED display, I don't think. But it looks really good. Yeah, there are some FPS dips, but uh, have there been any since I turned it down to 100% frame scale? I haven't seen any. I haven't really been watching for them though either. Seems pretty fine. Some in the 50. Oh well, 55 to me. That's not even a dip. I'm. Yeah, to me that's fine. Yeah, exactly. But Charity, nothing intolerable. If it was stuttering down to like 20s a lot, that'd be one thing. But I can handle 50s, 40s, even 30s if in some games. Like Elden Ring was fine. Elden Ring gets a little chuggy in like 25 in some areas, but even that's playable. Well, I mean, yeah, physics are tied to FPS, so it definitely. I mean, yeah, I mean, if you're gonna be like speedrunning it or something, I mean, PC's probably better, but I bet you. Oh, okay, that stutter. Okay, I don't know if those stutters were going on earlier, but those stutters that was actually my network. So ignore the ones you're seeing right now. That's not happening on the deck. The deck is perfectly smooth right now. That's just my network. Um, Actually, you know what I'll do? Hold on. Kill this guy, and then I'm gonna switch something. There we go. Here, not that. This button. This button. There we go. Let's do this. Let's take a look at some performance here. I'm just gonna set it to that for now. But there's let's just watch some performance numbers for a bit. It's a pretty good little benchmark. I'd say this is a fair, you know, fair little benchmark for the deck. Pretty intensive game, but not, and not one that's listed as compatible either. And yeah, it's one thing I'm impressed at is the temperatures. It doesn't get all that hot. It runs at a pretty acceptable temperature. Playing something like this, at least. I'm sure it gets hotter playing Elden Ring. I don't know why I jumped down here. uh, I wish I could. I wish I could enable dev mode with the randomizer and just give myself some abilities and test some tricks. But yeah, I don't have I guess I have a later save I could use, but that's fine. You load a save that's in Willow? Yeah, sure. I was just gonna ask if anyone wanted me to like try anything, but let's see. Do I have a? Oh, well, these are probably randomizer saves. uh, I don't have 100% save anymore. Okay, that's interesting. Let's see what this one does. Let's see if I have Willow unlocked. I don't know if this is a randomizer save. I don't know if these randomizer saves will even load. Oh, this is not a randomizer save either. This is like a legit save. Okay, hold on. I don't know why it's so quiet. That's weird. That's the only real issue with this game, is that it's quiet. Okay. Don't remember. This one's definitely a randomizer save. One sec, chat. Okay, I'm back. There was there was an ant on my wall. I need to put down some traps. They're being pests this year. Let's see if I can get to Willow here. At least the save loaded. Oh, I forgot to mention too, but the screen is a touchscreen, by the way. So, oh, that's pretty sweet. Can I really not go to Willow? Or can I not go to any teleporter? Uh, why can I not access the Willow's End teleporter? Can I get, like, over here? Huh. No fast travel. Huh. Let's test some tricks, though. I won't be able to test Willow right now, but... see if I can pogo. Oh, that was almost a pogo. No, I think I'm doing it too early. Need to do it from a TP. Oh, right. Right, okay. Oh, they're not activated. They probably didn't. They're probably not saved as activated. Oh well, it's fine. Ah, I suck at. I've always sucked at pogoing. Ah. There we go. Got one. But yeah, I mean, it plays fine. Oh, wrong button. What controls that again? Yeah. Oh, I don't have much of anything on this save. Okay. A hammer jump? How many jumps do I have? Just two. Yeah. I mean, if it's a little bit different muscle memory than doing it on the Xbox controller. But here's the other thing. If the controls bother you, you could totally just plug in an external controller. If it's a USB-C port, so you'll need an adapter or a or what I bought, a little like dongle for it. But those are cheap, easy to get. All right. Well, I think we showed off Ori enough, but let's see, where is that setting? There we go. That's what I wanted. Set that back to that. So we'll exit that. Let's see, what else can we show off? Yeah, sad Ori. I need to play more Ori. I know I'm going to when the randomizer comes out for this. So Hunt does not work on here because easy anti-cheat and it's purely a competitive game. That's one example of something that's incompatible. Sea of Thieves, I believe, works. I have not tried it. Should we try some Sea of Thieves, chat? Let's do that. I have not tried it yet, so this will be actually a good test. It might ask me to log into my Xbox account. I'll have to blank out the screen when I do that. Let's see. I signed in on Halo Master Chief Collection earlier. I wonder if that'll save it to this one. Probably not. Probably have to sign in on here, but that's fine. Okay. Oh, yep. There's the sign-in screen. Let me blank that out. Give me 1 second, chat. At least at least since I got the Steam Link connected, I can use my mouse and keyboard to do all this inputting here. Normally you'd have to use the on-screen keyboard for it. Okay. I think we're good. Let's go ahead and turn the, there we go. Oh, you know what, actually? Okay, so I've been controlling this whole time with the Steam Deck controls, but I want to test something here. So I should actually be able to control this with mouse and keyboard. There might be a little bit of input lag, but over the Steam Link, I can use my desktop controller stuff on this. So you can use this, if you buy like a little dock like I got, with a like an HDMI port and USB ports and stuff, you could just plug in. You could use this like a desktop computer. That's another thing that is important to remember about this thing. All it needs is that little dongle, USB-C dongle with a HDMI out and some inputs for USB, and this is a desktop. Like I could just plug in a mouse and keyboard and it works. No fuss, nothing. It just works like it is a desktop. So let's see. Let's see how well this plays. Now, I am playing with mouse and keyboard right now on a... I'm playing with mouse and keyboard right now through the Steam Link. And that's how I'm streaming it to you as well, for anyone new that hasn't heard me talk about that yet. Yeah, we're capturing this through the Steam Link app, coming over my Wi-Fi connection, and then into my desktop, and then I'm capturing it on OBS here. You could, in theory, install OBS on the Steam Deck as well. God, I keep saying all the wrong words. But yeah, let's see how this runs. This one's a little quiet, too, I'm noticing. But let's see what the performance is like. Oh, yeah, Bluetooth would work, too. Yeah, absolutely. It has Bluetooth built in. So, yeah, you don't even need a dongle, necessarily. Yeah. You can just use Bluetooth. Okay, so in the tavern, we're getting about 45 FPS. That's not amazing, but let's take a look at what our settings are set to. Okay, so they are pretty low already. Okay. So we're probably not going to get that much more out of this. Well, we could turn down some stuff, like turn down this to common. This could definitely go down. Yeah. Okay, let's just try that. Oop, that was weird. Okay. Yeah, that already gave us... Look at how much more performance we're getting. But, again, perfectly playable. I'm getting a little bit of input lag playing it over the Steam Link. Certainly would be a little problematic, but you'd get used to it after a few hours of playing, too. So, it's... Again, and then, using a Steam Link is not the ideal way to do this. You would probably, if you were going to play it docked, probably better off playing it, with a Bluetooth connection and a and an HDMI connection. But for whatever reason, if you can't, like I don't know, you're in a I have no idea why you couldn't, but there's plenty of reasons why you couldn't. The Steam Link is another option. It's great to have it. But yeah, otherwise it's playing fine, and I can't get through there. Let's just set sail for a bit and just like get on the waves and see how it looks. Because I did turn some of the graphics down, but I bet you this is still going to look amazing on the Steam Deck. Also important to remember, I kind of talked about like how like a lot of multiplayer competitive games are going to have trouble because of um, the easy anti-cheat problem. But this is a multiplayer competitive game that I'm online right now. I can play this, online with other people, and I can fire up Discord in the background and have Discord up to talk to friends and whatever. It's a PC. You can do anything you could do on your desktop on this thing. Just it might require a little tinkering in the worst case. So yeah, I turned the water detail down. It's not as pretty as it would be normally. Let's crank that up a little bit, should we? See if we can get this a little prettier, but still keep. Let's see here, water detail. Let's turn that up to legendary and just see how much that destroys our frame rate. Honestly, not bad and worth it for the water. This game's so pretty. So this is the cool thing about this game, the Steam Deck though. So think of how many games that are great, may not be great to play portable necessarily on the controller of the Steam Deck. Not that this would be a bad game to play on a controller. It plays fine on a controller. But some games might not. Maybe like strategy games or whatever. But let's say you're traveling and you're in a hotel. You bring an HDMI cable with you, a little dongle for HDMI out plus keyboard and mouse and stuff, and boom, you just have your PC games available to you the same way you would anywhere else. Like that's the cool thing about the Steam Deck. Especially if you do traveling or are on the go, anytime you would be away from home, the Steam Deck is just such a cool thing to have. The timing of the Steam Deck's release kind of sucks a little bit because travel's cut down a little bit right now, but I think it's still good for that. Yes, correct, Snoodle. Easy Anti-Cheat is natively supported under Linux through Proton, which is what the Steam Deck uses. It just requires the developers to update the version of Easy Anti-Cheat that their game is using to that version. So games that have Easy Anti-Cheat that are not compatible with the Steam Deck, it is literally just the developers have to fix it. And that is just going to require people saying, hey, this thing exists, make it work. And it should come along for most games that are currently in development, that are still like actively supported. So I think we'll be fine. I'm just trying to get us into a prettier area real quick, chat, so we can enjoy the graphics a little bit and just see how the game's running. But it's performing fine for me so far. Certainly that controlling it with the slight input delay over Steam Link is not great, but it's really not bad. Oh, there's another sloop over there. Trying to think of what else. So once we're done here, I think the last thing I'll show off with the Steam Deck is I'll probably go ahead and show off the I'll show off the desktop mode a little bit, which is the most powerful thing on the Steam Deck, obviously, because it's a computer, and you can do whatever you can do on a Linux desktop PC on there. Where the hell are we, and why are we not out of this scummy zone yet? Oh, we're only at Daggertooth? Oh, okay. Well, that sucks. It'll be a minute, chat. Let's see, what else can we talk about with the Steam Deck? Trying to think of what some good things I can mention about it. I think I've covered a lot of the stuff I wanted to talk about already. I think we've just got desktop mode left to go over, which I'll showcase after this. This is going to take too long, chat. I'm already bored. I'm not bored of the game. I could play Sea of Thieves for another 3-4 hours, but yeah, I think I want to move on to something else. Is there anything you guys wanted to see specifically? Um, and we'll, before we jump into desktop mode at least. Oh, this is also cool. I can control the menus with the mouse too, by the way. So, it's not, you're not forced to use the controls on the. Okay, and that's about how much battery we've used up while doing this. It hasn't been plugged in on my desk here. Um, so just messing around so far, we've gone through about 50% battery. Um, so the battery life isn't amazing, but you'll get enough to like, if you're on a short domestic flight or something, you've got enough battery to last you for a flight. So it's and I mean you can just charge it too. So yeah, the battery life is a bit of an oof. Yeah, I thought. Oh, you're right. I was just thinking it would only require current version of Proton Linux kernel because they also made additions to Windows OS calls interoperability. Yeah, I don't know for sure. I just know it's something that game developers independently have to do. Um, but yeah. Other than the battery life is probably the biggest oof, and I haven't done a lot of work to try and optimize this. Also, keep in mind it's saying an hour and a half left right now, but it calculates this on the fly. And now that I'm in the menu and not playing Sea of Thieves, this is actually going to climb quite a bit. When you're in these menus, the battery doesn't die nearly as quickly. Also, just like even like running an emulator or something like that, or like a game that isn't like Sea of Thieves or Elden Ring that's really graphically intensive, it is very vastly dependent on how much it's taxing the graphics card. Um, so depending on what you play, your battery life is going to vary. But like yeah, it like for me just playing emulators or something, you'll get several hours out of it easy, no problems. And to be fair, I haven't actually fully stress tested it and drained it all the way yet. I always plugged it in like before it got below like 30%. So, all batteries perform differently. Some of them drain to 50% really quickly, but from there slow down. I haven't really like tested that, but I'm trusting the numbers it's giving me. I'm sure it's fairly accurate. Um, for me, having access to electricity, close by, being it's all been done testing in the house. The battery life hasn't been a hindrance. Um, yeah, one sec, chat. There we go. Um, and I think for most cases, like 3 or 4 hours, or well, 2 or 3 hours, depending on what you're doing, it's probably decent. Also, battery packs are a thing too. I think I'm going to invest in a little charging pack with the USB-C um, that can hold like a big, massive charge to, just keep this thing going for a while. And that's something you can carry with you easily enough. So, let's see what else. Is there anything else I want to talk about in here? Don't think so. How do I get to the? I guess I could. That's not a very comfortable way to do that in here. Okay. Let's do desktop mode. So give me just a minute, chat. I gotta pick up the device and do a power button. There we go. Switch to desktop. Okay. And then I'm gonna probably have to recapture the window, so this will take just a minute. I have like 10 of those that you use with my Quest. Exactly, yeah. If you can use it portable with VR, you can use it portable with a Steam Deck. Uh, okay, so it's switching to desktop, and I have to reconnect to it with Steam Link. So it technically has to like boot into a different like mode. But it should connect here in just a moment. There we go. Oh, it's not showing for you guys though. Why? Oh, you changed the. Okay, here we go. There we go. Boom. It's a desktop, and I have some stuff up here I did for my own purposes. You can launch Steam on here just like you can on your desktop, and it looks basically the same way. Um, this was the EmuDeck stuff up here was how I went in and installed all those emulators. Again, doesn't come with any ROMs, but you know, you can get this out. This is just perfectly legal. Go out and grab EmuDeck and install it on here, and it all installs just normally. Yeah, it's KDE Plasma, exactly. And otherwise, it operates very much like a Windows. It's not even capturing my cursor, actually. I just noticed that. Well, it's whatever. I'm not going to be in here super long. And it's got a little app store um, with a lot of stuff in it. So I've already put some stuff on here, um, like Space Cadet Pinball. PolyMC I haven't played with yet, but this is a way to run set up Java Edition Minecraft on here pretty easily. I need to stress test the deck with that and put like shaders and stuff on here. Should run it fine, but it'll be interesting to see how it performs. But yeah, it is a desktop. That's basically all I'm going to show about that because it's a desktop, and yeah, I mean you've all seen a computer before. I'm not a Linux expert by any means, but this is a great way to get into it and kind of just get your feet wet if you're already used to Windows, because the interface is pretty familiar and easy to use. So you'll have to do some googling to figure stuff out, but I've also got friends that are helping me out that are more Linux experts and stuff that know a lot of tricks. So there's lots of people out there that know this stuff if you're not really good with it, and lots of really helpful people online too. With you can Google almost anything you want to do, and it'll they'll help you get it set up. But yeah, that's the Steam Deck, everybody. Um, I think that's about all I'm going to show on that for tonight. I don't think there's much more we can really go over. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Alt space. Oh, I'm already gone. Sorry. um, all right, let me shut it down here. There we go. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed that. It's a really cool piece of hardware. Um, I don't feel like I wasted my money at all, and I'm not even traveling that much or anything with it yet. I feel like it's even a pretty nice device just to have in the home, and I have just a small apartment, but it's nice to be able to go out on my balcony and have my computer with me essentially. It has a lot of the same functionality that you'd get out of a really good gaming laptop. Um, well, it has the same functionality as a good gaming laptop, but in a form factor that lets you play it anywhere with controls just kind of integrated, which is really nice. It's got a Switch-like form factor, which actually really I should say a GPD like form factor because I think they came before the Switch. But yeah, it's great. And I highly recommend it if you can afford one. Yeah. That's all I got on that. I'm gonna take a quick break here. I'm gonna go just stretch my legs for a second. I'll play some music and then I'll come back with some Elden Ring. So stick around.